Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Ruscio here. I am going to be working through just maybe a couple examples on the recap because at this point you are now entering class, and if you are a good little algebra student, you would have your calculator out on your desk. So nice work. If you didn't, feel the shame, just kidding. Pause the video, go grab a calculator right now because you need to be following along. You won't be able to do the practice if you aren't practicing with your calculator. All of us know that some of you do not have calculators at home, so now is the time to actually practice the skills that we need. I will say a little disclaimer, we want you eventually to get to the point where you don't have to do this, but for the sake of today, this is what we're going to practice. Some of you are going to be having your brains kind of turning, and you might think, oh my gosh, I don't think I need to use the calculator. So those of you who are up for the challenge, I want you to think about what those ways might be. But until then, let's begin. So question number one, what we're doing is we're supposed to factor and distribute to check. So using our calculator, if you remember from the lesson video, we need to open up a new document and add a graph page. Right in the function spot, we're going to graph x squared plus 11x plus 10. And when we graph it, we can almost see the parabola. So what we really have to do is, well, you know what, sometimes I have a really hard time clicking on this over here, but we're going to wiggle our little mouse pad here, the center of it, and I'm going to click on that 10, and then I'm going to tab. Oops, just kidding. I'm going to double click on the 10 so it's flashing. Then I'm going to hit tab a couple times. I'm going to hit tab another couple times till I get that negative 10. It looks like if I just change it to 15, I'm in good shape, which I am. Now, some of you are feeling a little uncomfortable because you can't see the bottom of the parabola. I don't care about that right now, but if you wanted to, you could change that negative 6.67. Some of you are comfortable with counting, but what I want everyone to practice right now, even if you're a really good counter of those little tick marks, is go into the menu, analyze the graph, and then we're going to click on 0, number 1. So menu, analyze graph, 0. We want to find the zeros. So using, again, that wiggle pad in the middle of our arrows, we're going to wiggle the mouse. We're going to click it once. A lot of people want to put it here. Don't put it there. Wiggle it to the left, click once, then drag it over so you get this cute little shaded area, then click again. One of our zeros is at negative 10. Oh, magic. All right, let's do it again. Menu, analyze graph, 0. Menu, analyze graph, 0. Now we're not going to wiggle it all the way over here now because we care about this 0. So I'm going to take my mouse, click it once, drag it all the way over, and I have found that I have 2 zeros. Let's write them off to the side. Those are not my answers. Those are just my zeros. I have x is equal to negative 10, and I have x is equal to negative 1. Now from the video, you should know that our answer needs to look like this. 2 sets of parentheses. Oh, that was really messy. Okay. What's going to go in the parentheses? I hope that none of you are saying x equals negative 10. That makes me so uncomfortable I can't even explain to you. See that equal sign in there? Ew, yuck. I don't even want x negative 10 or x minus 10. Instead, remember, it should be flip-flopping the sign. So from the one root of x equals negative 10, we're going to get x plus 10. And then from the other root of x equals negative 1, can you guess it? Can you guess it? Can you guess it? If you said x plus 1, you are the winner. So dun dun dun. This is our answer. But because we're relying on technology to do this problem, we need to check. We are going to check using the box method because this is how we would double distribute. What we're going to try to do to prove algebraically is that this is the same as that. So let's set up the box. I'm going to set up my handy dandy box. It's a 2 by 2, binomial by binomial. So we're going to multiply things. Okay, and what are we multiplying? Well, we have x plus 10 all times x plus 1. So those are the 2 sides that we get. It doesn't matter where you put them. I'm going to put the x plus 10 up top and the x plus 1 on the side. And then I'm just going to multiply through. X times x is x squared. X times positive 1 is positive 1x. X times positive 10 is positive 10x. And then 1 times 10 times 10, don't try to put an 11 in there. 1 times 10 is positive 10. We also know that we have two like terms. They're friends. We group them together to be a positive 11x. So in the end, we ended up with x squared plus 11x plus 10. Is that what we wanted? Is that what we started with? Dun, 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 dun. Yes, it is. We are good. We are happy. I'll draw a little smiley face because it checks out. Okay, now some of you might say, well, Mrs. Riccio, can't we graph the two? And the answer is yes. So this is a way that we can use technology to check. So let's do this all together. So we graph the original, hit tab, we're going to graph the new, and we're going to type in our parentheses, x plus 10, close the parentheses, start a new set of parentheses, x plus 1 as our answer. We hit enter, and the magic happens. We have the two graphs lining up, meaning that we did this perfectly, and we are awesome. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these examples with you because we did them in the video. If you're having trouble, go back and watch the practice video, what you did for homework. What I do want to mention, which I think is notable, is let's just graph number 4. Let's talk about how some of you might think that we did it wrong when we really didn't. So Control Doc adds a page, and we're going to add a new graph, and let's graph x squared minus 50 x plus 600. We're going to hit enter, and oh my gosh, we did this wrong. Or did we? No, we didn't. We just have to change our window. I don't know, let's change it to 30. I could be way off. Oh, I think I even have to go farther. Maybe I have to go all the way to 50. Does that help? Yes, it does. Do I have to go down lower, like negative 30? I did. So just note that you might have to play around with your window. You can still go in, menu, analyze graph, 0, click to the left and drag. Do that again, menu, analyze graph, find the 0. Remember how we have to do this twice because there's 2 roots. So those are some of the things that you could be thinking of as you were working through all of these, okay? So I hope that this helped. If it didn't, literally just pause it or rewind it and rewatch it because we did everything that you're going to be doing on the practice today. The practice, they give you these nice little outlines with these little boxes in there, but really what I want everyone to remember as you're doing this is that what I boxed in right here, this is the answer. You could even draw a couple stars, like this is your answer, this is the answer. This is your answer.